One sip in the morning triggered a stroke, and he thought he was doing everything right. Mr. Gerald Thompson was 74 years old, a retired high school science teacher from Ohio. He never smoked. He took his blood pressure pills. He walked every afternoon with his wife. Friends called him the healthy one in their group. But every morning for decades, his day began the same way. He'd shuffle into the kitchen, pour himself a strong black coffee, and sit by the window watching the sunrise. It was his comfort, his routine, his small daily joy. One Tuesday in late spring, Gerald followed his ritual exactly. By noon, he couldn't lift his left arm. His speech slurred, the world tilted. Within minutes, his wife was calling 911. Doctors found a clot in his brain, a stroke. Gerald survived, but his left side never fully recovered. He told me later, "I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know my morning coffee could do this." He's not alone. Every 40 seconds in the United States, someone has a stroke. And here's the part most people don't realize. The majority of these strokes happen in the morning, between 6 a.m. and noon. The exact hours when most of us believe we're at our freshest and safest. Why? Because the moment you wake up, your brain is at its most vulnerable. Your blood is thicker from hours without water. Your blood pressure begins to climb. Your vessels are adjusting to the shift from rest to activity. Any sudden stress, physical, chemical, or emotional, can push a fragile system over the edge. And yet, so many normal morning habits quietly trigger the perfect storm for a heart attack or stroke. Habits that feel harmless until the day they change your life forever. Stay with me, because the next few minutes could change how you start your day, protect your independence, and maybe even save your life. To understand how something as simple as a sip of coffee, a quick rise from bed, or a glance at your phone can tip the balance, we need to dive inside your blood, your cells, and your brain's most vulnerable moments. When Gerald took that first sip of coffee, it wasn't the caffeine alone that betrayed him. The real problem started hours earlier, while he slept. 1. The blood. A thicker, more fragile river. During sleep, you go 6 to 8 hours without water. That means your blood gradually loses fluid volume and becomes more concentrated. Platelets and clotting factors are now in higher relative amounts, making the blood stickier. On top of that, the body's natural metabolism produces acidic byproducts overnight, lowering your blood's pH. In this slightly more acidic environment, red blood cells can clump more easily, and blood vessel linings become more reactive. Think of your bloodstream first thing in the morning like a frosted garden hose. The water inside moves sluggishly. Any sudden pressure could crack the frost and send debris rushing downstream. That debris can be plaque fragments or tiny clots, and the downstream target could be your brain. 2. The cells. Running on low oxygen. Every cell in your body, especially brain and heart cells, wakes up slightly oxygen deprived. Your breathing is slower during sleep and your circulation is reduced. At the same time, your body releases a natural hormone surge, cortisol, in the early morning hours to help you wake up. While cortisol is necessary, it also raises blood pressure, increases heart rate, and makes blood vessels slightly tighter. Combine that with low oxygen cells and thick blood, and you've created the perfect environment for vascular stress. Imagine a city's rush hour when the roads are already narrowed from construction. More cars enter the roads, higher blood pressure, but they move slowly, thick blood, and oxygen delivery is limited. One wrong move and traffic locks up, just like blood flow to the brain in a stroke. 3. The organs. Heart and brain on edge. Your heart must suddenly pump thicker blood through vessels that are narrower than they were during the night. Your brain, which demands 20% of your body's oxygen supply, is particularly sensitive to any drop in flow. If you already have hidden issues like hardened arteries, atrial fibrillation, or plaque buildup, this morning shift can cause turbulence in your blood flow. Turbulence increases the chance of a clot breaking loose and traveling to the brain or heart. The National Institutes of Health, NIH, and the American Stroke Association both confirm The hours just after waking carry the highest risk for strokes and heart attacks in older adults, especially those with underlying cardiovascular conditions. Why your doctor may not have told you this. Modern medicine excels at controlling numbers. Your blood pressure reading, your cholesterol level, often through medications like antihypertensives or diuretics. But these do not restore the elasticity of your blood vessels or correct the morning chemical imbalance in your blood. That requires hydration, nutrition, gentle movement, and cellular recovery, the very habits we'll explore next. Now that you understand the hidden morning vulnerabilities in your blood, your cells, and your most vital organs, it's time to uncover the most common and most dangerous morning mistakes that can quietly push your heart and brain over the edge. You now understand how your body wakes up in a state of biological stress, thickened blood, low cellular oxygen, and fragile vessels. But what you do in those first 30 to 60 minutes can either help your system rebalance or push it to the edge of a life-changing event. Let's look at the 3 most dangerous mistakes older adults make in their morning routine. Mistakes I've seen trigger strokes and heart attacks in patients who thought they were being healthy. 1. Drinking coffee on an empty, dehydrated system. Story: Mr. Gerald Thompson, 74, Ohio. We met him earlier. His story begins with comfort, his morning cup of black coffee. But inside his body, that ritual was triggering a vascular chain reaction. The mechanism: after a night without fluids, the blood is thick and sluggish. Drinking coffee, especially dark, strong coffee, immediately after waking causes vasoconstriction. That means your blood vessels tighten, making it harder for blood to flow smoothly. Caffeine also spikes adrenaline, which raises heart rate and blood pressure. The combination of thick blood and narrow vessels increases friction, like trying to push maple syrup through a straw. That friction creates turbulence. And in a system already vulnerable, that's how clots form. Early warning signs: lightheadedness or head pressure after coffee, rapid heartbeat or skipped beats, subtle speech slurring or hand weakness, confusion, fogginess within 30 minutes of waking. At-risk audience: anyone over 60 with high blood pressure, atrial fibrillation, or history of TIAs. If you're taking diuretics or BP meds, caffeine can hit harder and sooner than you realize. 2. Standing up too quickly. Story: Miss Eleanor Watkins, 82, Vermont. Eleanor was fiercely independent. She lived alone, practiced piano every evening, and cooked her own meals. But one morning, she stood up from bed too fast. No water, no pause. She made it halfway to the bathroom before collapsing. The scan showed a clot in her brain's left hemisphere. She had no history of heart disease. The culprit? Orthostatic hypotension. The mechanism: when you lie down for hours, blood pools slightly in the lower half of your body. In younger people, standing triggers an automatic reflex. Blood vessels tighten and heart rate increases to push blood back up. But in older adults, especially those on BP medications or with autonomic nerve dysfunction, this reflex slows down. Standing suddenly causes a rapid drop in blood pressure. Your brain gets less blood for several seconds. This drop can stir turbulence in the vessels and prompt clot formation or movement, especially in brains already oxygen deprived. How to spot it early: dizziness or tunnel vision when standing, balance issues or needing to lean on furniture, feeling off in the head without explanation, increased fatigue or mental fog mid-morning. Who's most at risk? Adults over 70, people with diabetes, Parkinson's, or low sodium levels, anyone on diuretics or multiple medications for blood pressure. 3. Skipping water and holding your morning urge. Story: Mr. James Holloway, 80, Kentucky. James was an avid reader. Every morning, he'd sip his coffee and read the paper before doing anything else, including going to the bathroom. One morning, after ignoring his body's signals, his wife found him slumped in his reading chair. Scan: ischemic stroke. Cause: blood pressure spike combined with a full bladder. Your bladder isn't just a storage tank. When overly full, it stimulates the vagus nerve. In some, this lowers heart rate and blood pressure dangerously. Vasovagal response. But in others, particularly older adults with vascular stiffness, it triggers a sympathetic nervous system response, raising blood pressure sharply. Now, add dehydration to the mix. Thick blood plus sudden pressure surge cause prime conditions for clot formation and travel. Early signs: feeling mentally sluggish before urinating. Morning headaches. Skipping water because you fear needing to pee again. Tightness or minor chest pressure within an hour of waking. Who's vulnerable? Seniors with enlarged prostates, diabetes, or weak pelvic floor control. People who urinate less than twice before lunch. Those who wake up and go straight to caffeine, screens, or chores. Each of these mistakes, caffeine too early, standing too fast, skipping hydration, seems small. But when they occur in a body that's just spent hours in a dehydrated, low-pressure, low-oxygen state, they can tip the balance from stable to stroke. For seniors living with hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, or even mild memory loss, these habits can quietly steal resilience from your most vital systems. But here's the good news. Now that you've recognized the traps, you can avoid them. And avoiding danger is only the beginning, because there are ways to reverse this vulnerability and rebuild your mornings from the inside out. Let's explore how to do just that, starting with healing habits that support your blood, your cells, and your brain with every sunrise. Avoiding the 3 deadly mistakes is the first step. But your body doesn't just need you to stop hurting it, it needs you to actively restore it each morning. The right actions in the first hour after waking can transform thick, sluggish blood into a smooth-flowing lifeline for your brain and heart. Here's how. 1. Hydration ritual. Your first, most important medicine. The moment you wake, your blood is low on volume and high on clotting potential. A glass of 300 to 500 milliliters of lukewarm mineral water replenishes plasma volume, thins the blood, and wakes up circulation gently. Lukewarm water is ideal. It matches your body's temperature, so it doesn't shock your system. Adding a squeeze of lemon provides antioxidants and supports a slightly more alkaline pH, which helps keep blood cells from clumping. Why it works. Water rehydrates red blood cells, improves oxygen delivery, and supports kidney filtration, removing waste products that contribute to vascular inflammation. 2. Electrolyte balance, the quiet stabilizer. Older adults often fear salt, but the type and amount matter far more than a blanket restriction. A microdose of unrefined sea salt or pink Himalayan salt helps maintain sodium-potassium balance. This is crucial for healthy electrical signaling between nerve cells and heart muscle fibers. Without enough sodium, you risk morning dizziness. Without enough potassium or magnesium, you risk vessel constriction and irregular heartbeat. 3. Detox and gentle alkalization. While you slept, your body burned fuel and produced acidic metabolic byproducts. Helping your blood return to a balanced pH can reduce vessel irritation and clot risk. Options: lemon water, chlorophyll water, cucumber or celery-infused water. These don't replace healthy meals, but set your chemistry in the right direction from the first hour. Number 4. Enzyme foods. Nature's clot fighters. Certain foods contain natural enzymes that help break down fibrin, the protein mesh that holds blood clots together. Pineapple, papaya, natto. Including a small serving of these in your morning, perhaps in a smoothie or fruit bowl, can support circulation and reduce inflammation in vessel walls. Linda, 68, from Arizona, used to start every morning with coffee and news headlines. She often felt dizzy mid-morning, but brushed it off as getting older. After learning about morning dehydration and vessel stress, she changed her first 10 minutes. Lukewarm lemon water with a pinch of Himalayan salt. 3 minutes of slow breathing at her kitchen table. Coffee, only 45 minutes later. Within 2 weeks, her dizziness vanished. Her blood pressure readings stabilized, and her afternoon fatigue eased. I didn't realize I was making my mornings harder for my body. Now it feels like my body is helping me, she said. Why this works for older adults. Restores fluid balance without overloading the heart. Supports the nervous system's ability to regulate blood pressure gently. Reduces vessel inflammation, making arteries less likely to constrict. Provides micronutrients and enzymes that modern diets often lack. You now have the principles. But to make them easy to follow and nearly automatic, we need to put them into a step-by-step plan that fits right into your morning. In Part 5, I'll walk you through a detailed morning healing timeline so you know exactly what to do and when for a heart and brain-safe start to every day. Knowing what to do is only half the battle. The real transformation happens when healthy actions are built into your daily rhythm, so they become as natural as brushing your teeth. This morning healing timeline is designed for seniors to protect the heart, sharpen the mind, and keep blood flowing freely during your most vulnerable hours. After waking, hydrate, oxygenate, and wake up gently. Action. Drink 300 to 500 milliliters of lukewarm mineral water immediately upon waking. Add a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of Himalayan or sea salt for gentle electrolyte support. Breathing. While seated, do 5 slow, deep belly breaths. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 6. This oxygenates your cells and helps your nervous system shift smoothly from rest to activity. Movement. Roll your shoulders, flex your ankles, and sit up slowly to prevent a sudden blood pressure drop. Why it matters. Replenishes plasma volume, restores oxygen delivery, and begins circulation without shocking the system. 5 to 15 minutes. Bathroom trip and sunlight boost. Action. Empty your bladder as soon as you feel the urge. This relieves internal pressure and prevents the blood pressure spike that can occur when holding it in. Sunlight. Open curtains or step outside for 3 to 5 minutes of natural light. This triggers your body's circadian clock, improves mood, and supports healthy cortisol balance. Why it matters. Prevents morning BP surges, supports vascular rhythm, and helps regulate sleep-wake cycles. 15 to 30 minutes. Stretching and lymphatic pump. Stretching. Gentle neck rolls, side bends, and torso twists to mobilize the spine and shoulders. Lymphatic pump. March in place or bounce lightly on the balls of your feet for 1 to 2 minutes to stimulate lymph flow and help clear metabolic waste. Breathing with movement. Coordinate slow inhales and exhales with each stretch to enhance oxygen exchange. Why it matters. Movement wakes up the musculoskeletal and lymphatic systems, improving circulation without overwhelming the heart. 30 to 60 minutes. Breakfast for circulation and brain power protein. Eggs, Greek yogurt, or a plant-based protein smoothie to stabilize blood sugar. Healthy fats, avocado, walnuts, chia seeds, or olive oil for anti-inflammatory support. Enzyme-rich fruits, pineapple, papaya, or berries to help break down fibrin and reduce clot risk. Hydration, herbal tea, or more water. Coffee is fine here if your body is hydrated and you've eaten. Why it matters. Provides steady fuel for the brain, supports vascular health, and reduces the inflammatory load on arteries. After 60 minutes, moderate movement action. Walk at a comfortable pace, do light gardening, or perform gentle resistance exercises. Avoid high-intensity cardio or heavy lifting before 10 a.m., as your vascular system is still adjusting from overnight changes. Why it matters. Encourages healthy circulation, strengthens the heart, and supports joint mobility without triggering dangerous BP spikes. Daily nutrient support. Your internal armor to further protect your cardiovascular and brain health. Vitamin D3K2 supports bone health and proper calcium placement in arteries. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels and regulate heartbeat. B-complex supports red blood cell production and nerve health. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation, improve vessel elasticity, and support brain function. Why it matters. These nutrients close the gap between diet and what your body needs to maintain optimal heart and brain resilience. A note on consistency. The power of this protocol isn't in doing it once, it's in making it part of your identity. When your mornings are built to heal, every day becomes a step away from risk and a step towards strength, clarity, and independence. You've now learned the science, the dangers, the solutions, and the exact plan to follow each morning. But sometimes, change only sticks when we hear the story of someone who's walked the path before us. In our final section, let me share one more powerful, real-life transformation and how you can begin your own tomorrow. Story. Mr. Thomas Briggs, 79, retired Air Force pilot from Virginia. Tom Briggs had lived a disciplined life. Decades in the military had taught him to be up before dawn, check the latest reports, and prepare for the day with precision. Even in retirement, his mornings looked the same. Coffee within minutes of waking, tablet in hand, scanning breaking news before the sun was up. It was a habit that seemed harmless, until his cardiologist told him his blood pressure was consistently spiking in the mornings. Despite medication, he brushed it off at first. But when a friend suffered a stroke over breakfast, Tom decided to make a change. Instead of reaching for his tablet, Tom began his mornings with hydration and gratitude. Before anything else, he drank 12 ounces of lukewarm mineral water with a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of Himalayan salt. Then, he sat by the window for 5 minutes, breathing slowly and thinking about 3 things he was grateful for. The news could wait until mid-morning. Within 3 months, Tom's blood pressure readings were more stable. His doctor reduced his morning BP medication, and, to his surprise, his mind felt sharper. "It's like I gave my brain room to wake up gently," he told me. "Now I own my mornings, instead of letting stress own me." Every sunrise is a choice. You can protect your brain, or you can put it at risk. You can fuel your cells with water, oxygen, and nourishment, or you can hit them with shock, stress, and strain. Your age does not decide your fate. Your choices do. And the beauty is, you have the power to choose differently, starting tomorrow. You are wiser now. You've seen the science. You've heard the stories. You know how fragile the morning can be and how powerful it can become when you protect it. Act like it. Give yourself the mornings that heal, and you give yourself more days to live, laugh, and love. Share this video with someone over 60. You might save their independence or their life. Subscribe and download your free PDF, Morning Brain Protection Checklist, a step-by-step guide you can print, post on your fridge, and follow every day. Because protecting your brain is not about fear, it's about freedom. And it starts tomorrow morning at sunrise.